Welcome back to the NFL on ESPN radio show, 109.7 FM. I'm Dylan Paul here with Sebastian Fernandez, and we are going to be going over our top 4 quarterbacks in the league. We did numbers 5 through 10 yesterday, and now today we're going to be going through top 4. So, Sebastian, who do you have at number 4?
Number 4, I as a Dolphins fan, I'm not really a fan of this guy, but Josh Allen at number 4, he had an amazing season. He's on the cover of Madden 24, which is a great honor for him. But Josh Allen at number 4, what can we really say about this guy? He's an amazing quarterback, definitely a top 10 quarterback, but can he really have a good season next year? Can he really take his team to the Super Bowl? I don't know if he can take his team to the Super Bowl because the AFC is loaded with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Josh Allen and the Bills are Super Bowl contenders. I really don't think so. That's why he's number 4 on my list.
Yeah, as a biased Bengals fan, I can definitely say that Joe Burrow was indeed snubbed of the cover of Madden 24.
I agree.
But at my number 4, I'm also going to go with Josh Allen. I just think that he's been declining as of recently, and I don't think that the Bills are that high-tier Super Bowl contender like they were before. I think that the Bengals and the Chiefs have easily taken them over, and I think that showed with the Bengals-Bills game last year where Allen and the Bills just couldn't find any offense, and now with the rumors about Stephon Diggs and how he's not showing up to mandatory camps is very concerning for that Bills team. So now if we're going to number 3, I'm going to have a guy that I already gave my argument on of you having him very low, and I'm going to go with Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Justin Herbert is one of the most physically talented quarterbacks we have ever seen. He has the strongest arm in the NFL, and he is one of the best deep passers. His pocket presence is unbelievable. It is one of the most underrated parts of his game. The way he can stand in there and take hits and deliver passes is truly incredible. What do you think for number 3?
You might be shocked about this answer, but I have Jalen Hurts. People might flame me for that, but Jalen Hurts for me really showed why he can lead a team to a Super Bowl victory. Obviously, he didn't get it done last season, but if we're talking about Jalen Hurts and how he can lead a team, I think Jalen Hurts is the perfect candidate. I think Jalen Hurts could possibly be my number 1 MVP candidate, and I think he deserves it. Jalen Hurts has an amazing coaching staff, has amazing players around him. Jalen Hurts is definitely going back to the Super Bowl. He's number 3 on my list, but if he can stay consistent enough and stay away from injuries, I think he deserves to be number 3 on my list.
Yeah, if we can see Jalen Hurts just for one more year, I don't think that number 3 is too crazy. I think number 3 is actually probably his ceiling for me right now, but I think he can easily become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I think he has already cemented himself of that with that Super Bowl run. And it looks like we now have a caller coming in. It is going to be Blake Quillen from New York. Blake, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Just wanted to call in. So yesterday we had a caller, Zach, who asked you what value do wins have on your quarterback evaluations. But I have another question for you guys. What values more in your ratings, touchdowns or yards passing?
Now, in my opinion, yards can be a little misleading because a lot of yards can be run after catch yards. It can be screens. It can be just launched passes that happen to be caught. So I think that touchdowns thrown are a much better stat for a quarterback. I think that if a quarterback is throwing a touchdown, it is more on them than the yards are if it's just a run after catch situation.
Yeah, I totally agree with Drillin. Like you said, touchdowns are more valuable than yards, in my opinion. Touchdowns really, really are, a key for a quarterback in the game, and I think touchdowns are a way better stat than yards, in my opinion.
So if you had a quarterback like Tom Brady in one of the years when he was on the decline of his career, definitely not a top 5 quarterback over Allen, Mahomes, and Burrow, who threw 50 touchdowns, would you value him more than those quarterbacks who had less?
Brady's just an unbelievable talent, and it seems like no matter how old he is, he's still going to produce at that high level. So I think that Brady's just such a smart player that it's hard for him to not have an incredible season like that.
Interesting. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Now at number 2, I think we both have the same number 2 and number 1. At number 2, we can both agree that it is Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And at number 1, we both have, of course, the magician, Patrick Mahomes. So what do you think about Joe Burrow, number 2?
I think Joe Burrow, I mean, he honestly could be number 1 on your list. On your list.
Yeah.
Because you're a Bengals fan, but Joe Burrow definitely deserving number 2. I mean, we've seen all of the adversity, all of the injuries. He really overcame that, and I think if he can beat Patrick Mahomes, he's definitely a Super Bowl winner, in my opinion. Joe Burrow, one of the best college players of all time on that LSU team. Unbelievable run, beating what was it, Clemson, right? That was unbelievable. Joe Burrow definitely number 2 on my list. He could overtake Patrick Mahomes, and maybe, I don't know, but Patrick Mahomes obviously is at number 1.
Yeah, Burrow definitely has cemented himself with some deep playoff runs, but it's can they get over that hump and get the Bengals their first franchise Super Bowl. Now at number 1, of course, we have Patrick Mahomes. You have any comments about that?
I mean, it's obvious. Patrick Mahomes should be number 1 on everybody's list. Everybody's list. I mean, he won the Super Bowl last year against the Eagles, and the Eagles are an amazing team led by Jalen Hurts, led by A.J. Brown. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is incredible, honestly. I think we should put him not only on a top 10 quarterback list entering next season, but a top 10 list of all time. I mean, could we get to that? Could we get to that discussion, Dylan?
I think we definitely could. 2 Super Bowls. And with the team that he won the Super Bowl with last year, that's pretty incredible. He really just showed how much he can elevate an offense, losing Tyreek Hill and taking that receiving core to the Super Bowl and winning it. But now, this year, it's going to be even more of a challenge. Lost Juju Smith-Schuster and lost Mecole Hardman. So we'll see what he can do with the weapons this year. And that is going to be it for our show today. Once again, I'm Dylan Paul with Sebastian Fernandez on NFL on ESPN Radio 109.7 FM, signing off.